Hey Collective Youth, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Devo for today. Today we're in Psalms 52, and I'm just going to read a little bit about this. And this is David talking, and Saul is, trying to kill him during this time. And so David's trying to, constantly on the run, and he's just frustrated with the injustice that's going on. And so this is what he says. He says, "Why do you boast about your crimes, great warrior? Don't you realize God's justice continues forever? All day long you plot destruction. Your tongue cuts like a sharp razor. You're an expert at telling lies. You love evil more than good and lies more than truth." And then later on, starting in verse 7, he says, "Look what happens to mighty warriors who do not trust in God. They trust their wealth instead and grow more and more bold in their wickedness. But I am like an olive tree, thriving in the house of God. I will always trust in God's unfailing love. I will praise you forever, O God. For what you have done, I will trust in your good name in the presence of your faithful people." David says he's like an olive tree. He's frustrated. He sees wickedness all around him, but he still says, I am like an olive tree, thriving in the house of God. And what would it look like for you this morning to be thriving in your relationship with God? What do you think that would look like? What would that feel like? How would your daily life play out if you were thriving in the house of God? I think we come up with images of what that would look like in our lives, but David was on the run. This guy Saul tried to kill him multiple times, but yet in those circumstances, he still says that he's thriving in the house of God. That kind of puts it in perspective of what circumstances do we need to be in order to thrive in a relationship with God. And David goes on to say, I will always trust in God's unfailing love. And that is a reference back to Exodus 34, where Moses is on the mountain and God walks before him, and God says, I am a God of unfailing love. It's the most referenced verse in the Old Testament is Exodus 34. And David says it here. So God's love is unfailing, and that's one of the things that allows David to thrive in those circumstances. So wherever you're at today, rest in the fact that God's love is unfailing, and that no matter what your circumstances are, you can still thrive in the house of God. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.